Hello everyone, my name is Katie and I will be introducing the sociological concept of cultural boundaries using the movie Mean Girls. Mean Girls is a teen comedy film directed by Mark Waters in 2004, which follows Katie Heron as she enters a U.S. high school and encounters a highly structured social hierarchy. She meets the elite manipulative clique labeled the Plastics, where she learns harsh lessons about popularity, authenticity, and friendship. Mean Girls may seem like a simple high school comedy, but it actually reveals something deeper, that cultural boundaries are not just labels. They actively shape identity, reinforce inequality, and maintain power through everyday life. In this video, I will be explaining a few sociological concepts that support this. The first concept that we will discuss is social versus symbolic boundaries and how distinctions and meanings separate groups. In the film, symbolic boundaries appear as the labels like the Plastics or jocks, but what makes them powerful is that they become social boundaries. These determine who belongs, who has status, and who gets excluded. This shows that boundaries matter because they structure social life and limit mobility. When Katie tries to move between groups, she doesn't just change friends, she risks her identity and her social role. According to Huang 2019, these boundaries are not random, and they are maintained through cultural capital. The Plastics define that appearance, fashion, and confidence is valuable to them. Katie initially lacks this capital, which is why she is excluded. But as she learns these norms, she gains status. This shows that crossing boundaries requires adopting the dominant group's culture, not changing the system itself. In the film, success depends on defending the rules of the game. Huang 2019 concept of habitus explains why these boundaries feel real and difficult to challenge. Habitus refers to the internalized behaviors and instincts shaped by our environment. Katie initially feels uncomfortable because her habitus doesn't match the school's culture, but over time she begins to think that the Plastics act like them and judge others the same way. This shows that the boundaries persist because people internalize them, making inequality feel natural rather than constructed. According to Cottingham 2012, interaction rituals create group solidarity through shared experiences and emotional energy. In sports, for example, fans wear the same colors, chant together, and celebrate wins. This creates a strong sense of belonging. The same process happens in Mean Girls. The Plastics share routines, gossip, and have social control. These rituals create emotional bonds within the group, and at the same time, they strengthen the boundaries against outsiders. Boundaries are not just enforced, they are emotionally reinforced through interaction. Jacobs 2010 expands on another sociological concept of the idea that rituals and performances maintain culture over time. In the film, students constantly perform their identities. We can see people dressing correctly, sitting in the right places in the cafeteria, and acting accordingly to expectations. These performances make boundaries appear stable and normal even though they are socially created. One real-life example is through the 2021 CNN video, The Rise of White Identity Politics, which shows how identity can be used to create in-groups and out-groups tied to power. The Plastics act as a dominant group that defines norms, which is valuable and who belongs. This reflects a broader sociological pattern that those in power maintain boundaries by controlling cultural norms and through social expectations. In conclusion, while Mean Girls exaggerates high school life, cultural boundaries exist everywhere, in schools, sports teams, workplaces, and social media. They shape who we connect with, who we exclude, and how we see ourselves. Understanding cultural boundaries helps us recognize how inequality and division are created and how they might be challenged. In the end, Mean Girls is a reflection of how society organizes belonging.